Welcome to AGORACOM, the Small Cap Epicenter and AGORACOM TV, a daily, fast-paced, edgy show bringing the best press releases out of the small cap world every morning at the open so you can hopefully profit from them and maybe even find your next great small cap investment. Now, it's Thursday, April the 17th. I've got 6 great press releases from both sides of the border. I'm going to start you off first with Legend International Holdings, trades on the OTC in the U.S. under LGDI. This is probably the biggest news we've had on AGORACOM TV to date in over 170 shows that we've put out. Listen carefully, get out your pens, replay this video when it's done to get all the details, because this is huge. The company released results of their phosphate rock preliminary scoping study on its phosphate projects in Queensland, Australia. These results came out yesterday after the open at 11:30 in the morning, so we couldn't report them on the show, but we're bringing to you here. These results were, the scoping study was conducted by British Sulphur, a division of CRU International. That's going to be important because these numbers are so big. We want to make sure the people who put together the scoping study are worth their weight in gold, and they are. British Sulphur prepared the scoping study based on initial project capital and operating costs, assuming sales price of phosphate for $100 per ton, $200 per ton, $300 per ton, and $400 per ton. Current pricing right now, as of March 2008, sale of Moroccan product was at $400 per ton. So that's the number that we're looking at right now. Based on that number, listen to this. This project is expected, when it comes into production, to generate annual gross earnings of $1.7 billion. That's $1.7 billion. That's not a typo. That's based on 5 million tons of production per year. This is a historically defined phosphate deposits of 1.46 billion tons. At $300 per ton, annual gross earnings is still at $1.2 billion. At $200 per ton, annual gross earnings are still $700 million. Now, phosphate prices right now, as you can imagine, are being driven by global agricultural demand for fertilizer. In order to get this project up and running, the company have to spend capex about $820 million to construct infrastructure. Now, let's talk a little about British Sulphur, because when numbers are this big, you've got to do extra due diligence. We like what we hear here. British Sulphur Consultants Division of CRU Group has been the leading business consultancy in the fertilizer and inorganic chemical sector for over 50 years. British Sulphur was the first supplier of information to the fertilizer industry and remains the largest provider of services to the industry. In other words, we can rely on these numbers. These are big. As of yesterday's close, Legend had a market cap of just $430 million. They closed yesterday at $2.45. Huge news out of Legend. They are a brand new AGORACOM client. Got to disclose that, but obviously this news obviously stands on its own 2 feet. Next up, Skygold Ventures trades on the venture exchange under SKV. They announced that drilling has intersected high-grade gold mineralization, specifically 1.5 meters of 96.2 grams per ton of gold. That was intersected 300 meters west of their main zone, and 58.5 meters of 1.13 grams per ton of gold. That was about 120 meters west of the main zone. This at their Spanish Mountain project in central British Columbia. This is what I like about this. Results have confirmed gold mineralization well outside the area of the initial 43-101 compliant resource estimate they put out just on April 3rd, 2008, just a couple of weeks ago. How big is it? That portion of the main zone is the area of the initial resource estimate, which was calculated to contain a measured and indicated resource of 1.75 million ounces of gold. This is a high tonnage, low grade deposit, but in an era where gold is trading $900 to $1,000, it works. Go take a look at the press release. A lot of highlights. Do have a quote here from my friend Scott Weeks, who actually is the VP of exploration over there. We have now drilled 2 of our best holes in the northern part of the main zone and to the west of the main zone, and both are located well outside the resource area. Step-out hole 695 clearly shows the potential for the main zone to expand significantly beyond what we currently know as the limits of gold mineralization. Big words, big numbers. Got to take a look at Skygold, closed yesterday at 84 cents. Next up, Kimbari Gold trades on the venture under KNB, and for our friends in Frankfurt, trades there under 3KG. They announced that they drilled 44 meters grading 3.1 grams per ton of gold, 12 grams of silver, and 0.53% copper, including 8.7 meters grading just under 35 grams per ton of gold, 66 grams of silver, and 0.99% copper. These are results from an ongoing 23,000-meter drill program. That's at their El Val project in northwestern Spain. Go take a look at the highlights in the press releases. It was one that I really like here, 28.6 meters grading, 4 grams per ton of gold, 15 grams per ton of silver, and 0.45% copper. The numbers are significant enough that the company is conducting a Beyond the Press release right here on AGORACOM, where we're going to have Dr. Rampton give a layman's explanation as to the significance of these results. They're expecting it to take place on or after April 18th, so look at the Kimbari hub on AGORACOM. They are a client, but again, big news out of this company. The immediate focus, as you can imagine, is to expand and upgrade resources at their El Val property in Spain in order to start operations at the mine and existing mill complex by 2010, so we're not that far away. They closed yesterday at 85 cents. Next up, NuLoch Resources trades on the venture under NLR.A. They also have an NLR.B, but the .A's are the one that are trading. They put out their 2007 financial results. Again, another energy play that puts all of the results on CDR, not in the press release, so you're going to have to go take a look at them. But here are the highlights that obviously tell me they're doing something right. Production 2007 averaged 304 barrels of energy, of oil equivalent per day. Their 2007 exit number was 465 barrels. Currently, they're at 500, so they're climbing. That's a great sign. Also in 2007, their reserve volumes of petroleum and natural gas increased 23%. Their reserve values were up 47%. They invested $7.5 million in their capital program. All great numbers showing that this company is definitely growing, and their FD&A costs were just $13.75 per barrel of oil equivalent. They closed yesterday at $1.60, a great one-year chart, but be a little careful here. The last couple of months, it's gone parabolic, almost up 90 degrees, so you always got to be careful you don't have a bit of a pullback, but otherwise great news there. Avion Resources trades on the venture under AVR. They announced a bought deal private placement. Usually don't put those on AGORACOM TV, but this one's big, $30 million, and it's in connection with acquisitions they're making in Mali right now. It's being led by Canaccord, but in the syndicate, you've also got Cormark, Macquarie, and PI Financial, so it's obviously big. They're going to, they've got 60 million subscription receipts at 50 cents a pop for $30 million gross. Here's a bit of summary of the projects in Mali. The Tabakoto project was previously a producing gold mine and has mine infrastructure and processing facilities in place. They're purchasing the gold projects from Nevsun. I think it's going to be about 80% is what they're acquiring straight out right now. Nevsun previously spent $90 million to construct the mine and has a tax pool there of over $100 million US. They closed yesterday at 57 cents. They too have almost doubled in the last few weeks. Take a look at that chart. Might be a bit of a pullback on the news, but that's good long-term news coming out of them. And finally, Bard Ventures, another AGORACOM client, trades on the venture under CBS. They announced that drilling intersected 0.15% moly over 172 meters. That's part of 730 meters of 0.1% moly. This is at their Lone Pine property project in British Columbia, which is situated in the Omineka mining division. Final assay results for holes 26, 27, 28, all significant intervals, all of them in the press release. Go take a look at those. Here's what's important here. The existing infrastructure on the property includes Highway 16, a natural gas pipeline, a major hydropower transmission line and transformer substation, and it's only located 15 kilometers from the CN rail line in Houston, BC. Infrastructure is not a problem. If they get this up and running, it's going to be great. They're earning a 100% interest in the property under the terms of an option agreement. Closed yesterday at 18 cents. That's a wrap for the day. Fantastic news. All of it was great. Still can't believe those legend numbers. They had good gain yesterday, but it looks like they're going to trade even higher this morning based on the ask before opening. As always, if you look for more great small cap companies, don't forget about the AGORACOM marketplace. Over 90 companies listed by industry and exchange, so you can find the ones best suited for your portfolio. That's a wrap. Have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow.